Hello friends, and welcome back to my homestead. So another humid hot day in July, and I came to pick my vegetables, more particularly my cucumbers again, because if you miss just one day, oh my gosh, I mean, they just explode and become gigantic really quickly. So you really have to check on them daily. But I had very busy last few days, so I think I missed few of them. And this is something else that I've noticed I would like to show you. And it happens to a lot of homesteaders, and I know it happened to me. And then I learned something. I learned that you can correct it. Well, maybe it's too late for this particular cucumber, but you can help the future ones that are coming up the vine, and they're literally up the vine. So let me show you what is happening and how we can remedy that. Okay, ready? So here it's an absolute mess, but here's my trellis of my cucumbers, and you'll see some sunflowers in between. And I want to show you that you may see some yellowing leaves, and just don't pay attention to the sunflowers. You may see some yellowing leaves on the cucumbers, and guess what? It is not dry. So these are the sun leaves, and they should be green, but some of them are going yellow. See how the vein is green but the leaf is going yellow? And then I've noticed something else. Let me find you one guy. Oh, here's one. Hold on a second. Let me come around and show you one. Here's one. Look at him. Do you see what's happening to him? He is thin by the stem, and then he becomes fat and unusual shape. Here's another one. What is this guy doing? Look at that. So that means that my cucumbers require more nutrients. Yes, I have placed ton and ton of compost into the soil when I was planting them in the spring. Well, I was seeding them in the spring, but for some reason cucumbers are just fat eaters. That's what I call them. They love fat soil. That means they like a lot of fertilizer. See, it's happening here as well. And here's another one. The big ones you see is because I let them go to seed. I've saved a few that I'm going to allow to turn into seed. So these fat little, with the big fat belly, they're still delicious, don't get me wrong. And I'm still going to eat them and enjoy them very much. But unfortunately, they are not what they should be. And the leaves are showing that they need a little help. So one of the remedies is that they may require more nitrogen. I am not a big fan of synthetic nitrogen that is sold at garden stores, simply because there's a lot of heavy metals hidden in them, and that's the last thing I want, is to put more heavy metals into my soil. No thank you. So nitrogen, don't laugh at me, but urine is full of nitrogen. So if you feel like coming out in your garden early in the morning and depositing some, hey, more power to you, as long as your neighbors don't call on you. You may try to collect some of the fresh nitrogen from your animals. But in my case, I am going to feed the soil, I'm going to feed the roots right now with compost fermented tea. I started that tea a couple of weeks ago, and let me show you what it looks like, and let me show you how I can feed my cucumbers with that stinky fermented tea. So about 2 weeks ago, I was pulling some weeds from my garden, and I collected them. Ooh, yummy. And I collected them all into my bucket, and I filled it with my well water, and I started this fermented tea using weeds from the garden. See, they are going to create a beautiful compost tea that's going to feed a lot of essential nutrients to my soil right now. I'm just going to recommend keep it away from your house. keep it in a sunny place and covered because it will be stinky. So I have, where's my stick? I've got a special stick that I use to mix it with. It's turned brownish color. And I'm going to be taking that liquid right now. I'm going to dilute it with water. And I'm going to feed my vegetables. It's best to do it in the evening when it's the sun is no longer beating on the plants. Make sure that the soil is wet. And I'm going to water even more after that, gentle watering. But I just want to give a little piece of advice for those who live in a city and have chlorinated water. Chlorine will mess up and not allow fermentation to take place. So, oh, the smell of compost tea. Lord have mercy. Well, I remember this. My mama used to do it all the time. She had a big, gigantic barrel that we always used to feed our vegetables in the middle of the summer. So this feeding is recommended to be repeated every 10 days, every 2 weeks, and you will see how it will truly help your vegetables. I'm going to take an empty bucket right now. And I'm going to empty bucket and I'm going to mix it in a ratio of 1 to 5. I'm going to take an old quart of some sort. I have my gloves because trust me, I'm going to need them because it smells something special. Have you been to a swamp? It smells like a swamp, donkey. So I'm going to mix 1 of these guys to 5 of clean, non-chlorinated water. Okay, friends, so I just finished feeding my cucumbers. I made a mixture of 1 quart of composted weeds tea to 5 quarts of clean water. And I watered the garden lightly before and I watered lightly after as well. So I just poured on around the roots, and this is such a mild feed that this will not burn the roots, unlike some of the synthetic feeds that are out there. Plus, many of them are water soluble and they will be washed away with water right away. Never mind all the other ingredients in there that you don't want in your food. I don't want it in my food, and I don't want it in the food for my family. What can you use to make this compost tea? You can use weeds that you pulled from your garden beds, and we have plenty of those. And it takes about 2 to 3 weeks to sit there and compost on the sun with covers away from your house. You may also use grass clippings when you cut the grass in your front lawn. Now, keep in mind, if it's treated with chemicals, you don't want to use it, because think about it, it's going to end up in your food. If you happen to have a patch of stinging nettle, even better. Stinging nettle is a wonderful, wonderful component of compost tea for your vegetables. So this process should be repeated every 10 to 14 days, so basically every couple of weeks, which is perfect because that's how long it takes to make a new batch of compost tea. On that note, I hope that this remedy helps my cucumbers to be delicious and healthy looking. So be encouraged and try something new.